guys, today I'm here with a mostly American drugstore haul. I went to California over Christmas, and then there's an order from my Kate house I placed right before Christmas, and then a few other random things. I did a collective high-end haul not long ago, which I will link to down below, which is kind of the counterpart to this haul. And then you will also see a try-on ColourPop haul coming up in the next week or so as well, so I don't bombard you with a whole bunch of hauls all at once. But let's go ahead and get started. One of the first places I went while in California was Ulta. Obviously, as a Canadian, you may or may not have felt the joy of walking in under that beautiful orange sign into the land of makeup that is hard to get your hands on sometimes. One of the things that is near impossible to get, although you can order from Ulta to Canada, and I have had a good experience with it. I will link to a video where I'm talking about it down below. But I wanted to purchase the full coverage waterproof concealer. I've heard a lot of people compare this to Shape Tape, so I'm curious. I hope I don't love it too much because it's going to be trickier to repurchase, but I think this was around $10 Canadian. I got this shade Tan Warm, so I actually haven't touched this yet. I haven't played with a lot of it. I've kept it in a bag so that I would actually have all the pieces here for the haul, because if I start picking things out, there's no way I'm ever going to remember everything I bought. So you will definitely see all of this upcoming in videos, but if there's anything you're super curious about, let me know down below. Then I also grabbed a few things from NYX. Not that it's hard to get NYX in Canada, but I don't know, I buy more makeup when I'm away because it feels like I can excuse it and it's like a more acceptable for some reason. But I picked up this face sculpting palette, which I am wearing this today. I used the banana shade under my eyes. I used this to contour, and then that is the highlight I'm wearing today. So far, I'm really liking it. I love that the under eye powder has a lot of pigment to it. I will say though that the under eye shade is quite light, and then the bronzing or sort of contour shade is quite deep. I definitely wouldn't really use this as a bronzer, so I kind of used it in more targeted areas as a contour, and then the highlight seems quite pretty as well. I didn't go in super hardcore with it or use a setting spray or anything like that. Then I also picked this up because I'm just so into cream contouring, as you know, and I'm always on the hunt for new great options because I'd like to do kind of a collective video on that. So this is the NYX Wonder Stick. It is their highlighting contour stick. This has been around for a very long time, but this one is in the shade Deep, so I will test that out. And then something that I don't know if it's going to work for my skin or not, but I've always been so intrigued by it, so I was like, you know what? Let's try it. It is the Honey Do Me Up Primer, and I'm a big fan of the YSL Touche Clot Primer, so I thought maybe this would be similar. This does have more claims for it to be more of a dewy kind of finish, as opposed to the YSL one is more about blurring, but I thought I would try it. And because I am having so many breakouts lately, I am having a bit of a hard time with more matte foundations and more matte primers because I do have so many active breakouts. So this actually could be good because I am looking to add that hydration to my skin so that things don't look so dry and crusty. The last two things I grabbed from Ulta are from Real Techniques and from Makeup Revolution. I have talked about these blushes before. I actually did a Makeup Revolution haul not long ago, but this was one of the matte blushes that I didn't have, and I'm wearing it today. It's in the shade Nude, and it doesn't look like much in the pan, but I find those are my favorite blushes, the ones that are kind of unsuspecting and don't really look like much. Those can be some of the most flattering on the skin, and I've talked about these blushes before, but they're an absolutely beautiful buy. Really nice formula, good lasting power, nice matte finish that's not too powdery. And then I picked up another one of these because I love this brush so much. It has become an absolute favorite of mine. Oh, it's backwards. It is the Real Techniques setting brush, and I like this for blending out the concealer under my eyes. You will see one of these in an upcoming empties video because I think I smushed my chair on it and now it's like about to crack in half, so I'm glad that I bought a backup, because I was buying it as a backup, but now it's just actually becoming a replacement brush. But highly recommend this brush if you haven't tried it. It's also good for setting like powder under your eyes if you want. I use it to blend out liquid concealer, or you can also use it as a really nice highlight brush. Next, I placed an order from Kate house. I was purchasing these guys, which I've talked about before, so I'm not going to get too in depth about it, but it's the LA Colors Truly Matte Foundation, which is actually no longer on the Kate house website. I don't know if it went out of stock and they just removed it, but this is actually $3.99 on their website. LA Colors sells it for $6, and then I found it on Urban Planet if you're Canadian. I will link to it down below for $12.99. So I had a good experience shipping from Kate house. Didn't have any customs, and I'm not totally sure how I feel about this foundation description if you want to see my review, though it will be linked down below. But while I was there, I was kind of like, let me try some more LA colors because I don't have a ton of experience with them, and they have been releasing some really interesting looking stuff. So to continue the contour train, I picked up the Pro Contour Kit Cream and then the Pro Contour Kit Powder. These look really nice. I've only swatched these, so I'm not totally sure how they're going to work out. I definitely think the powder feels really nice, really soft. The under eye shade is a little bit deeper than what I would normally go for. I'd love to have something kind of in between the NYX powder and this powder, but these are super affordable. I think they're like $5 or $6, and they actually do come in a nice amount of shades. I think there's maybe 6 or 7 shades, which is pretty extensive for a contour product, especially from the drugstore. I mean, high-end brands, when they release a contour palette, they'll come out with 1 shade, 2 shades at most, and it'll be like light and medium. So really nice to see that. This one is in the shade Tan, and there are a few shades above it and a few shades below, so I am kind of somewhere in the middle. And same can be said for the cream kit as well. I mostly picked it up for the cream contour. I'm not a huge fan of cream highlights. I like to just use concealers. I find these can be a little bit tougher to work with, and I don't love the way they look on my skin, but this one is also in the shade Tan. So this LA Girl, oh, have I been saying LA Colors? Oh, I'm so dumb. So the foundation is LA Colors, and then these products that I've been mentioning are all LA Girl. I'm sorry, that is such a rookie mistake to make. But this is the LA Girl Velvet Bronzer Contour Stick. This one is a little bit of a fail on my part. I always look up swatches of anything I buy online, but for whatever reason, the swatches I saw of this were a little bit misleading, I guess, because this is in the shade Brazen, and I bought this to be like, oh, this looks similar to the Wet n Wild contour stick that I love. But this is a true kind of like shimmery bronzer, and it's also basically the same shade as my skin, so I don't think I'm really going to be able to use this. The formula seems nice, but it's just not at all what I had intended. Then I picked up one of the iLux quads. I was super curious about these. I've heard good things. This one is in the shade Energize, and again, the photos online really didn't kind of properly portray the way that this quad looks, because if I had actually seen what this looks like, I wouldn't have bought it because the shades are so similar. The only matte shade in here is this kind of creamsicle shade, which is pretty, but the other shades are just so similar. I have this one on my lid right now, and I did run a little bit of this through my crease. I have another palette on, which I will be showing you. The formula does seem nice, however, but I just think the shades are kind of poorly chosen. And then the last thing that I purchased from LA Girl is their Slim Shady, which I would assume M&M has like some kind of rights on that. But anyways, the brow pencil, I got this in soft brown. I've only used this once. It feels quite dry, but I don't really have a problem with that. When it comes to brow pencils, I definitely rather they lean on the drier side than the more creamy side, because it's just easier to work with, easier to mimic brow strokes. So this could be another great contender in the ever-growing world of great drugstore brow products. So I'm really excited to keep playing with this, but so far so good. So my next stop was Walgreens, and I went in to pick up some curl definer because if you watched my LA or San Francisco vlogs, I wash my hair essentially every day and just ran through all of my product. So I was interested to go try out something new, and I picked this up basically because of the packaging. I mean, can you see her? Like, look at her. She's me, pretty much. I was like, I need this. So this is a curl definer. It is from the brand Twisted Sister. I kind of thought that it was a Walgreens house brand, just the way the packaging looks, but I don't think that it is because it doesn't say Walgreens on it anywhere. It's Twisted Sister. It's actually made in Canada, which is cool. I don't think it's a Canadian brand, however, but this is their Curl Perfection Cream Gel, Coconut Avocado, and Almond Oils, Moisture Hold and Shine. So I did only use this in California. I haven't reached for it since because, again, it's been in my haul bag, but I did really enjoy this. I was a little bit scared trying out something new, but I just couldn't resist the packaging, and it was quite affordable as well. So if you are in the United States and you have been enticed by her adorable face, then I would recommend you give it a try. While at Walgreens, I obviously deviated outside of the curls section and had to check out what was available. So I picked this up. It is the Shea Moisture African Black Soap Problem Skin Moisturizer, and I was like, my skin is definitely a problem. Let's try this out. I've tried their black soap before, I've tried their hair stuff before, and I have really enjoyed it. This, I don't know. I haven't really used it much since I left. I'm a little bit scared of it, especially the state of my skin right now. Maybe it could actually end up helping me. One issue that I have with this is it smells just like their hair products, which is very heavily kind of it's not heavily scented, it's shea butter, which is the scent, but it feels like I'm putting curl pudding on my face is what it feels like. It smells exactly the same. And it is a really heavy moisturizer. The second ingredient in there is a shea butter and mango seed oil, so it's not oil free, and I have no problem with putting oils on my face, but I was really surprised because it says it's for clearing, balancing, blemish, and oily skin. So of course it is very important to moisturize oily skin, but I definitely don't go for something as heavy as this. But I will continue to try it out. It's a great cruelty-free brand. And then I obviously went to the makeup aisles. I picked up this Rimmel Match Perfection, what is this called? Their 24-hour, yeah, I think it's just called Match Perfection. And they did have this in a deeper shade, and I don't have a ton of Rimmel foundations, but it was actually on sale for like $2. So I don't know if it's being discontinued. Let me know if you know. I got in the shade 502 Noisette, which is a shade deeper than the Rimmel Breathable foundation that I wore, but I will try this out. I just wanted to check and see if it is limited edition or not, because it may be a pointless review then. Let me know. And then I also picked this up from Jordana. It is the Sculpt and Glow Creamy Contour Stick, and I had a lot of you recommend this to me after I was raving about the Wet n Wild Contour Stick. This comes in a very similar format. I think this is the darkest shade, which kind of sucks because the Wet n Wild one doesn't come very dark either. This one is in the shade Deep, but it is a super affordable option. Have not touched it yet though, so again, we'll report back. Then lastly, I picked up a few random items. This is from Rexall, which is a drugstore here in Toronto. It is the Milani Everyday Eyes Earthy Elements palette. I'm thinking about doing, I have a few ideas in mind, so let me shop them to you now. I'm thinking about doing a small, as in like kind of more compact warm eyeshadow palettes, a best warm eyeshadow palettes, or a best warm eyeshadow drugstore palettes. Do you want to see all three of those? What are you the most intrigued about? I know warm eyeshadows are talked to death, but I still love them and continue to wear them, so let me know what you think. But this palette has been nice. It's not my absolute favorite, but I think you can get a really nice look out of it. I just don't think it's as versatile as it could be. Again, the shade selection is a little bit bizarre to me. There's some kind of repeats in there. Then while in San Francisco, I think it was San Francisco, I went to a store called Dazio or Dazio. It's like a Asian dollar store style thing. Nancy Spiffy Kerms, who just had a baby, congratulations. She has talked about that store a ton, so I went in. I didn't actually buy any of like the cute Japanese stuff that they had in there, but they did have this LA Colors foundation, and this scares me a little bit, but it's the liquid makeup. It's one of those like really random, you see it at like every dollar store kind of thing. So if you'd like to see a review on this, let me know. My face may just explode more than it already has. And then lastly, this isn't drugstore, but I wanted to include it in here. I forgot to include it in my high-end haul. It's kind of neither. I bought it online, but it is the Moon Mousse Magic Makeup Repair. So this I saw on Pop Sugar, Refinery 29, one of those like viral Facebook videos, and it was like the middle of the night and I decided to purchase it. So if you'd like to see a first impression, if you'd like to see me test it out, did I say what it is? It's a foam that you put on makeup that's broken that's supposed to help repair it. I actually haven't looked into it if they're claiming that it's better than the alcohol trick. I don't know. I just was enticed. It was an absolute impulse buy, but let me know how you'd like to see this in action. I could include it in a weekly vlog as well. If you don't want to see like a dedicated video on it, I would do like a little dedicated segment in my next upcoming weekly vlog, so let me know. Just kidding, I'm back with a different lip. I finished filming another video after this one, and I saw this sitting on my desk, and I was like, whoopsie daisies. When I said I had the LA Girl palette on my eyes and I had something else that I would talk about later, this was supposed to be that something else. So I picked this up at Target. You would have seen it in my LA vlog just briefly. It is the Profusion Amber Eyes eyeshadow palette. Pretty sure it's trying to be a modern Renaissance dupe. I am wearing the matte shades in the crease of my eye today. They feel nice. They definitely did not swatch very well. They're quite powdery. I don't mind a powdery shadow, but I will need to play around with this a little bit more before I can give you my determination. I do really like the shade that, the shades that kind of blended out of my eyes. I thought it looked really good, but I have a sneaking suspicion that they're not going to be as long lasting on the eyes, so I will need to test it out a little bit further. But I did want to mention that I picked it up because there's nothing worse than filming a haul and then putting everything away, and then you see like one product that you didn't mention and it just haunts you. So anyways, that is what I picked up. So thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to connect with me, you can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Snapchat at SamanthaJaneYT, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!